Last time on DbdKmp Plays Final Fantasy Mystic Quest Episode 6.
Quake, but sadly, Quake becomes to the point. Well, we'll go over that later. For one special. Okay. Wow. A 2-for-1 special. Land turtle and Sparna. These are the first time you'll ever see of a turtle. So, yeah, that was the first time you ever got to see that. I would have shown them up in this battle, but there's no point since we already seen them. See you in a little bit. Missed. And there you have it. That must be the Libra crest. Let's take it and go to the Libra Temple.
No more! No more! Ha. Hey guys, before I start this video, and before I do the whole thing, there's something I want to show you real quick on my channel. It's been a long time since I've actually had this amount of subscribers. I think I had about like 46 maybe, at one time maybe 47. But I'm actually back up to 45. Thank you to whoever did that. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. That helps out with the support of the channel. Anyway, see you when I see you. Hey guys, this is DbdKmp, the best noob in the house. Welcome back to DbdKmp Plays Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Great. And welcome back to DbdKmp Plays Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. This is episode 7. And you might have noticed there are some changes I made to this thing. They're actually for reasons. It still kind of minimizes, but it stops it from doing, and plus what I've done with this setup. Now, the minor difference is that I sacrificed speed, although that was hardly working anyway, to kind of fast forward this emulator whenever I needed it to fast forward. So it was not working out too well anyway. So I removed, and as you can see, those items are gone up, and I fixed it to where it doesn't do what it does, which means it doesn't stick whenever I push buttons now. It won't do that now, even when I'm playing Zelda. So, yeah. In this episode, we're going to continue on, and I will meet you, like I said, I was trying to say last time, I didn't mean to say Shimple, I meant to say Temple. And I know doggone well I said Temple, but anyway. I'll meet you there when we get there. See you in a little bit. Okay, one more thing I gotta go over. Let's see. Well, no. I'm gonna push the start button. That's what the arrow, the triangle is. Anyway, I went in off screen and got some 15 seeds in between sessions about, like, I don't know how many days ago. But I have been super busy again. So, and it's been a long time, or actually quite a few days, before I've done another recording session anyway. I got 88 potions, which is far more than enough. I've got 10 refreshers, which is far more than enough for now, because as much as I use them, they're not really all that. And I've got 62 heal potions. I need more, but I think I'll do good for now. 15 seems that I get us through, but I'm gonna need even more for another dungeon coming up. Anyway, that's all I wanted to well, as you can tell, I've also leveled up since last time. And my number of spells have increased. Obviously my attack and defense and all that, well, mostly has gone up. But I still can't outbeat her. Not that I'm really trying to make it into a competition or anything. But no matter what, I can't even come I can come semi-close to her strength. But yet, whenever she fights, she's like weak. All the actually side characters in this game are like that. Not to spoil anything, but yeah. See, even though my sword, which is a standard sword that you get in the game, is 50, and some of these actually do affect your magic and stuff. In other words, they're depending on what they are, they might have a different higher ratio or lower ratio. Anyway, that's about enough of that. Oh, one last thing. You need to raise up your GP as well, because there's certain items you're going to want to buy. You don't have to have them for, completing the game, but it is for completion's sake if you want to 100% the game. That includes all items. Well, you don't actually have to buy them. You can actually go and take your time and just which would take, I don't know how long to get potions, but, there's also chests to get them, I think, or something like that. But anyway, see you a little bit. Okay, so this is where we're supposed to be. Now, my minor annoyance is that all these sound the same. They shouldn't. It should have been a little bit differently. I have to agree with the blacking about this. But anyway, you see that thing right there? We're going to go into it, but other people don't do it my way. And I don't really care if they don't. You don't need to. It's not really the point. But see, also now that we have the Libra Crest, that's what we need. Nope. Hold on. We're not doing it right. Hang on. Didn't do it right again. I'm gonna get this right. Here we are. Now watch this. That must be the spring of life. The water's dried up. It's helpless now. Don't give up yet. There's someone inside. Let's have a look. Except, what's this? Now, if you push the plus key I just punched, you can't tell because this simulator is unique that way. You can see that we're outside here, which means the clouds are more on the... Ooh, what's that? Some new things popping up, which I'm sure we'll be able to find out and discover much, much later. Even that right there. I wonder what that is. We already know what that is. That's the focus tower. The little long thing. You got some battlefields. A lot of them have different enemies you won't ever see mainly in the game. You just see them only in battlefields. That's the place we had to go to get the Libra Crest. Wonder what that place is. And that place right there is a one-time only place. If you can see what I'm talking about. Well, we'll go more over it when we get there. Anyway. So we're now in the Life Temple. As you can tell. As it says so right there. There's another temple that can be hard to get to, unless you know how to get to it, to navigate to it. Anyway, we're going to go in here and find out. Ah, here we are. Aquarius in great danger. I know that. We need wake water to melt the ice. But the wake water has dried up, and it's hopeless. Hear me. All that's left of the wake water in this bag. All that's left of the wake water is in this bag. Take it and go back to Aquaria. Receipt wake water. Woohoo! And now let's find out what's in this. Cure potions. Yeah. Well, I guess now you know where to find more cure potions. Don't take long to gather them up as long as you know where they are at. And then there are other places to get arrows as well. So the next place we gotta go to, I'll meet you there, is here. In order to get to where we need to get to. Here we go. Kind of like the first part of the game when we had to be dragged to this point, only she separated from us from the murderer, I'm gonna call her anyway. Wakewater, please save our town. That's it? I guess this town will stay frozen until the crystal water shines again. Then we better hurry to the ice pyramid. That's a blatant clue, but unfortunately, that's a place that we may or may not be able to see yet. Because we gotta go here. Yep, this is the next place. It's False Basin. And this is one of those places at one time only. So, there's no way to get back into it unless you glitch it, and even then. Here we go. False Basin. Let's push this out of our way. Alright, I'm gonna mess up the bike for a minute. There's a new enemy right here. Let's see what he's got. Desert Hag. Now, I think they're weak against fire. Yep. Only weak against it. Obviously, I do know a little bit more about these. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe out some and show some that I haven't already seen. But right now, let's go ahead and show you what we got to do. See, there's a reason why we have to mess with this. And it's actually, there's about like 2 or 3 times we got to mess with this. But we'll go over that when the time comes. Let's move this up here. Now, we don't want to move it too far. Otherwise, it'll get stuck. And you don't want to get stuck anywhere that you can't get it out of. That's good enough right there. And I'm going to mess up the mic again, so hang on. By mess up the mic, I mean obviously it's going to go for some damn reason or another. But don't worry, it'll only be like a passing craze. I can't do nothing about it. Alright, we'll be back momentarily because this guy I gotta fight. And I suggest that you fight all of them, and you don't have to. You can bypass some of them, but I wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, see a little bit. Alright, so what I did with there was, most of the time it's more useful to use Phoebe or Phobie, I'm not sure. It was never given what you really prefer, so it does, but it hardly matters anyway. So you literally, people are spelled that way, but they're called Phobie, and then there's Phoebe with that spelling too, so I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and show you off. There we go, let me start that over. Let's go ahead and show this one off here that we haven't seen yet, as it's a new fight. And these things are, it's sort of a weakness, yet not a weakness, but we can't take advantage of yet until we get a certain weapon. So I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do here is, what you want to do is you want to have the main character defend for now, and have her, yes, her, because she's the only one that has this spell. Not that it will make a difference once we get it, but there you go. Yeah, see, Lemmy is weak against thunder. There you go. That's the name of that enemy. Now, what we want to do here is we want to push this over. Actually, I have to fight that enemy too. I'll fight it off screen. We want to push that there. Now, let's see. I'm going to be moving blocks around or stuff. So, I mean, I played this before. If you've seen my original playthrough of this, that's why I know a little bit more. But some things I rather not spoil, you know, even if it is a fresh thing. Alright, I'll be back. So it's important that if you find a battle where you have 2 Lamias and a Desert Hag, make doggone sure that your main character is using fire on the Desert Hag, because otherwise, well, you know. I mean, even if he doesn't wind up doing it right away, sometimes your luck can be that way. If you're, it'll work out. It didn't always work out for me. I had to, because basically where I get attacked by something, and what the Lumia is, they'll put you to sleep, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But luckily there's later items that can help prevent that. Now what we get, see, so anyway, I want to make sure that guy gets taken out. Anyway, now what we gotta do from here is we gotta move this back. Yeah, I know it's kind of silly, but we gotta push it up. That other block we gotta move too. So, but we don't have to move it right now necessarily. I suggest if you want to, you go ahead and do it now, but it won't make much of a difference because, well, because you got to put it up in this area. So I want to do that now, actually, while I'm thinking about it. We'll push it up against the wall here. Don't worry. I'm going to put a save state here. No, I'm not. Either I forget that I can't use save states in this game. I mean, I could, but obviously it crashes it. So what we're going to do here is, I'm going to save over this. That way, in case it does mess up, I can reload that file. And whatever you do, don't say new game because, I mean, it didn't used to do this, but now it erases everything. So let me think here. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you put it up at this point or down here, it'll let you jump anyway. So I would just put it wherever you can. Alright. The reason why I say was just in case I screwed it up. But now we don't have to worry about that anymore. So what we're going to do here... oh, great. I forgot that we need to put this back here. In order to move that one there. Because that one... you don't want to push it up against the wall. Then you have to leave. And then you have to start all over. And it's not worth the hassle. Even though this place is a one-time thing. You could come in here and go in and out if you want to get some training. But there is a certain maximum. And I wouldn't even bother with it anyway. This is not like any other typical Final Fantasy games. So I would definitely go ahead and push this up for now. And try not to leave because, yeah, you'll have to start all over too. And you don't want to have to do that. Either it's annoying. But again, unless you just want to train, that's fine. And also, if you're lucky enough, you'll get... to where you don't have to use up seeds, but even so, the next place coming up after this, you're going to want to have at least more than 15 seeds, and I mean literally, because you're going to be going through it. You'll want to go ahead and get as much of use of spells, even though this doesn't increase them, or anything like that, like it does in most games. Okay, whoa. Okay, what we want to do is we want to save again. In case we screw up here. It doesn't have to be pushed up against the wall, but I've had it up against the wall. So there you go. Now what we want to do is, obviously, we want to cross there. That's the whole idea. There's a certain particular boss coming up that will become a regular enemy. Anyway, I will see you. Well, let's see if this comes up the way I want. Nope. Alright. Well, we've seen this battle. See you later. And we took care of that enemy. Okay, well, let's see what's in here. Explosives. That's also a hint to something. So, alright. Let's see if we can get to this. Yeah, okay. See, like I said before, have this guy attack Desert Hag and have her, do not have her defend. That's the worst mistake you can do in this. I would do like that. There you go. success, but that's the second time I went through that, except this time you actually saw it. So, anyway, there you go. Even though this is the first time you'll ever see this, and last time you'll ever see this place once we get through this boss, not boss, but what's coming up. Now, what you want to do before you do anything, well, since you can't come back in here if you want to, go ahead and, because, once you do this certain thing that's coming up behind him, you won't be able to another chance to do this. So, there you go. Not that it matters or anything, because we could have got like an unlimited supply of it over there at the focus tower. But yeah, since we can't come back in here after the certain events. Now, the one thing you want to mainly focus on, well, let's first get that off of there so we don't accidentally do that. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and save again, because we don't want to go into the fight yet. Now, the permanent save will actually be the one down here. That will be the one. And it doesn't matter whether you stand here or there, you can still get it. So, found heal. Now, heal is just like the item, except it's actually better. You can actually use it to do both of your characters at the same time, right? No? Okay. Well, either way. You can also use it on, like, enemies. I'm not sure. I don't think you can use items in this game on enemies, like you can on other enemies. But anyway, yeah. So, if you want to, go ahead and get the bomb, or the explosive there, because after this, you won't have another chance. Anyway, this boss fight coming up is gonna be ridiculous. So, I mean, yeah, the heal can come in handy. I think this... Hang on. Desert... As far as I'm aware, I believe that's a normal deal. Now, the snow crab will become a different, regular enemy, but it will be something else. So, we'll go over that when we see it. I just showed up anyway. You know what I just realized? Is that we didn't use up a seed. I'll be right back. Okay, before we continue on into the boss fight, you should use up the seeds right now, because otherwise... And you could do it in battle, but you don't want to do it while they're attacking you unless you've already used up your spells during the... Because sometimes that can happen depending on your luck ratio, I suppose. Anyway, I'll see you in the battle. And as you can tell, I've saved because... I also like, before I meant to mention this as well, that I like it between scale and figure. They're pretty good, but the scale is actually the most coolest thing about this game. Not that figure isn't cool at all, but this is. As it grows substantially, but they never expanded upon that anyway. So, this is how much actual health we have. And we know it says life under there. So, we'll go ahead and leave that as is for this boss fight coming up. And I'll see you in the fight. Now, this is one of my favorite, this is a pretty good song. Anyway. I think he's weak against Axe, I'm not sure on that. But either way... Don't use any arrows at this point. You can if you want to, but I wouldn't. It's important to get rid of these guys. They won't respond or anything, but it also just gets them out of the way so they're not attacking you while you're attacking the boss. Now, without the ability to scan, I can't tell you what he's got. So, yeah, he's weak against that. So, you know, just use things like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cure. He's deaded. Now, that's also a clue to the next enemies that are like him. They're weak against axes. So, anyway, let's see. It's important that we heal up. So, even though we have 91 of those, far too much. 88 should be good enough. For now, anyway. You can explode. Okay, this is where we get our next weapon, which is a little too soon for me. So, anyway, you can use explosives, right? Here's how to use a jumbo bomb. Learn to use jumbo bomb. See, you'll only see that twice in this entire game. Twice. Anyway. I guess we could have gone back, but I forgot about that. Anyway, we already did. Now, I'm pushing A, I'm pushing A, I'm pushing A, I'm pushing A. Can't go back in there. So anyway, what you want to do now... You don't have to stock up on her arrows in here. But you can if you want to. I'm going to go back to the focus tower because, I mean, there's a point to get explosives, but it's a very rare chance in dungeons. Unless, of course, your partner doesn't have, you know, or they have, like, limited, like your explosives are, or jumbo bombs, whatever they're called. I don't know. They have 3 different names. So anyway, we will also be getting, actually, there's 3 weapons we could get, but this one here is not, you know, got, let's see, armor you can already get is that. All of it's pretty much optional, you don't have to have it for any reason or another, except for this. This is not optional, this is not optional, that's not optional, nor is this, or the next weapon we get there. But the next one in line, which would be the final one, another weapon there would be the final one there. But otherwise, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Wait. Yeah, 5 weapons that are optional. And then all the armor except for this is optional. If you want to count together, well, let's see here. This, I would make that 6, 7, because we're not counting that one anyway. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 altogether that are optional things. And you will also notice that over here, well, we might have the same armor some of the time, but like this, you'll never get. You never have an item like that. It's a mystic robe. There's a lot of items that you'll see that you'll never find in this game that they have, which is fine. Not to say that they shouldn't have it. It's the fact of that most of the time that armor actually has some better defense and everything else, and not just the thing that you need. But anyway, you'll never have that in this game. So, anyway, at this point in time, I recommend going back and basically getting some seeds. I recommend at least about close to 30. You don't have to go that far, but it will get you through the next dungeon coming up. Anyway, I will get that off screen. And anyway, the next video will be Zelda: A Link to the Past. Alright, see you later. Bye-bye.